one accord. Something good is going to happen. Something good is we are together again. Just praising the Lord. In one accord. Something good is going to happen. Something good is we are together again. Just praising the Lord. In one accord. Something good is going to happen. Something good is we are together again. Just praising the Lord. In one accord. Something good is going to happen. Something good is we are together again. Just praising the Lord. In one accord. Something good is going to happen. Something good is we are together again. Just praising the Lord. In one accord. Something good is going to happen. Something good is we are together again.
Where we sometimes tend to fall short when not listen and understand. We pray, God, you open our ears to hear what we have to hear and that we will understand. We pray for those who are on their way, coming even to the platform, Father. We pray you let them come speedily so everything will be done decently and in order. We ask all these mercy in your name, Lord, and thank you for your great provision that you have given towards us. We bless you and we praise you. Please now, Lord, take full rest in your name, Lord, and thank you for your great provision that you have given to us. And amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Mrs. Cosley. Thank you very much. And so I would like to say welcome to everyone, and for those who are logging on to our the Bridgeport television on YouTube. Welcome. I know everybody did not be able to join in on the Zoom because you know it has only a set platform. But thank you everyone for coming and for joining. I'd like to say a special welcome to our newest court members, our grade 7 reps volunteers, Mr. John Hines and Miss Noelia Barton. So moving along as we go down on our agenda, for those who can see it, we are at apologies for absence and lateness. I have one apology. I don't know if Mrs. Harris or anybody else have any. One apology for Mrs. Ebony Stewart Daly, or a member of our exec. Her husband is not well, and so she's unable to log in at this moment. So we continue to bear her in our prayers, bear her family in our prayers, and her strength. And for lateness, I didn't get any apologies for lateness. I don't know if anybody else would like to share for to make that report, so I can make a note.
No, Madam President, we have not received any apologies for absence. And I think since we have started late, those persons would naturally be in the meeting at this time.
Okay, so all right. Yeah, point taken, point taken. Moving right ahead to the courtesies for death. As we extend our condolences to Dr. Levy, who lost his sister, and to Mrs. Tinga Dawkins, who lost his son. We continue to pray for them and the family as God continue to strengthen them in this time of bereavement. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to be acknowledged here? For illnesses, I don't have any reports of illnesses among us, thank God. Congratulations. Anything that we need to highlight, acknowledge? Somebody win something, any awards? For birthdays, Dr. Levy again, our board chairman, celebrated his birthday earlier this week, and he shared that birth date with the Vice Chairman, Dr. McLean. Mr. McLean. I'm sorry about that. Anyone else sharing birthdays? I don't want you to feel because you are not a part of the exec or board. We did not acknowledge you. You can't say.
Mrs. Lawrence, Miss Mayor here. I'll be celebrating my birthday on Saturday, January 30th.
Wow. Happy birthday when it comes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Miss Mayor.
Very well. All right. We're down to anniversary. I can say first before anyone else, Mrs. Costley, congratulations on the 2nd of January, 22 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And on the 27th of January, Mrs. Powers, she celebrated 53 years. She's a parent of grade 8.
Wow.
53 years. Congratulations. Mrs. Powers, if you're listening or anyone who knows, you can extend it to her. We acknowledge your anniversary here. Anyone else? No, it's. Oh. So I see something in the chat. My anniversary is today. Tasha Thorpe is saying today's our anniversary. Happy anniversary to me, Miss Thorpe. You didn't say how many years, but happy anniversary nevertheless. Okay. There are others. Oh, 15 years. Oh, wow. Bless the Lord, Miss Thorpe, 15 years. God strengthen your union. And Francis is saying, my birthday was the 3rd. Happy belated birthday as well. I have to be hosting a reading, so I hope somebody help me with the chat. Alright. So, happy belated birthday to everyone and to those coming. And anniversary the same to you. We love you as a PTA. We are not just a school family. You realize as you participate, you get to know other parents and the teachers as well, that you will feel the love that Bridgeport High School has gives. We offer, as a family, not just, you don't feel like, because you are the principal or you're the teacher, you're different from me, the parent. No, we're one body. And so this is why we spell it PTA Association. Alright. So we're moving ahead. For the reading of the minutes, Miss Arnold, we are having some issues with that. We're gonna sort that out, and I please accept our apologies where that is concerned. So we're gonna omit 6 and 7 for now. We get back to it as soon as we can. Moving on to number 8 for those who can still see, which we're no longer sharing the agenda with. Greetings from the PTA president. Happy New Year 2021 and welcome back to the second half of the school year. First of all, I want to congratulate all the parents, teachers and students for their enthusiasm and focus on the school, on Bridgeport High School. During a terrible time, but truly difficult year. One goal the PTA has this year is to increase community involvement and decrease isolation. I have been approached physically and online by many parents who have told me we are doing a great job and they appreciate all the hard work.
Oh boy.
And this is just the PTA. We're not mentioning the teachers and the auxiliaries who are putting in the work as well.
Which one are the email
Being
address?
part of a community that bonds together and asks what's next
Alright.
is more than anyone can ask for, given the current circumstances. Moving forward, though, we would like to build on the momentum and continue to create events, contests. Is what make our PTA what it is. So strong over the years, and we don't intend to get any less. We want it
Come back now.
to get involved. Just from meeting, I want to do an extension. According to our the PTA constitution, because none of us expected anything like COVID. So a part of the men, no, there's nowhere in the constitution that says that we can do voting online. What I'm asking you as a parent body now, so we're gonna move to vote, and how we're gonna do this, Mr. Harris? We're gonna do it by show of hands, raising of hands, and we take a count, yay or nay, so we can vote on having virtual elections, because it's a yearly event that we have. Parents, for those who don't know, it's a yearly event that we have. It's a part of the calendar where we change office every year. So we need a new president, new vice president, secretary, um, assistant treasurer, um, PROs. So we are going to, just for you to get a better understanding, we need to move a vote that we and add it to the constitution that we can have virtual elections, seeing the time that we're in. So I am going to throw it out there now. Let me see the show of hands for those who agree, and that we're going to start having virtual elections. So we can make a counter off on that. So we can start showing up hands who agree, and those who don't agree, so we can know if this motion is moved for us to do so. Please do so quickly as we move along.
Madam President,
Yes, Mr. Campbell?
good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, team. What one question? Appearing on the Bridgeport television,
Say that again, sir?
I was wondering are we having appearance on the Bridgeport television at this time? Because I want to know if they are able to participate in the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Are they able to
Yes, they
vote?
can. They can.
Could you give me a
As
number,
soon as
please?
my number?
Do you have a number of First Line and Bridgeport Television?
And, alright, Mr. Campbell, could you call Mr. Palmer? I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I'm good special.
So, Miss Beckford, you're going to do the count for me as we move on, so we can know if this motion is moved.
Excuse me, miss.
Hello?
Miss, can you repeat the number, please?
My personal number?
Yes, miss.
Alright, it's 389-1702.
127.
Alright, so as the voting continues, we go along the line. We're going to have a presentation, the role of parents, guardians in online learning from our guidance department. You can go ahead.
Okay, good evening to you all, our parents. Good evening to all our teachers and everyone joining us today. Welcome and a happy new year to you all. Bridgeport High School Guidance and Counseling Department consists of our HOD, Head of Department, Mrs. Audrey Holmes Falls, and Guidance Counselors, Mrs. Nataski Fraser Brown, and yours truly, Renee Mayer. And we are here to we have for you this evening some tips to help your children to cope with distant learning. Number one, establish routines and expectations. Help students get up, get dressed, and get ready to learn in a reasonable time. Keep a normal bedtime routine so that they won't be late for their classes. Help students or your child to choose appropriate place to learn. Set up a physical location that's dedicated just for school purposes and ensure that the place is quiet and free from distractions. Please ensure that you have good internet connection. Parents, you have to monitor the children. Check in with them as often as possible to ensure that they are staying on task. As we are aware, our students at times or children are easily distracted. So you have to ensure that what they are doing is in accordance to what is appropriate for school. Monitor their devices, particularly the social media, and ensure that they are not posting inappropriate content because this will put them at risk. Parents, you have to stay in touch.
Yes.
Stay in contact with the class teacher, grade supervisors, guidance counselors, school leaders, and all the relevant supportive personnel from our PTA. Please understand that it may take a while for us to respond to you, but you can let us know all the concerns that you have. Parents, you have to encourage your child to take some responsibility for their learning. You to be full-time teachers or an expert when it comes down to educational content, but we need you as support and encouragement as the students have to play their part too. Begin and end each day by checking in. In the morning, you can ask about the subjects that they are supposed to do for the day. And also in the evening, just do a follow-up to see what was accomplished for the day. Parents, we can't underemphasize the importance to encourage the children to do some physical activity. We have to exercise. We need to let off some of the steam. Moving is vital. And is vital to our health and our well-being, and we have to ensure that we are ready for learning. Encourage them to put some exercise in. Parents, you too should exercise. We have to come together, collaborate. We have a saying that says, coming together is the beginning, and keeping together is progress. When we work together, we are going to be successful. So parents, please remember to put some effort in building the partnership with us here at Bridgeport and all the other organizations that are there to help to make our students the best they can be. So since the COVID period, we have been availing ourselves as guidance counselors to do online counseling, and we are here for the students. We have some additional support that you can go to get help. These are some of the places: the OCR, the CPFSA, the National Parenting Committee, and the commission is there for you. And we have some of the numbers here on the screen where you can get some help if you need it. St. Catherine, we have numbers there. The information will be given to you, so don't worry. You will be getting it. For help, if we have cases of abuse, we can call this number on the screen. So don't hesitate. You can get help. And remember, as I conclude this presentation, remember, you are not stuck at home, but you are actually safe at home. We are in this thing together, and together we are here to make a difference. We care about you, so please be safe. I thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Miss Mayor. Thank you, Miss Mayor. We do appreciate that. And some parents might not think it's as much needed much attention because they are there with their children or they have assistance for their children. But we, as the PTA, we have so many stories of children being at home alone. Some of them even asleep. Parents have to leave early, and they leave them to go on the school, and they fall back asleep because nobody is there to govern them. So even though the parents will say that they know that they're at school, when they're really at home sleeping or on the internet doing other things, we have so many horror stories that come to our ears. So don't take it for granted the information that Miss Mayor gave you, because we're having some serious issues with the children. So parents, as she said, just to remind you, kind of way, there are emails, school emails for every grade. I don't know if everyone of you know this. There are emails for every grade. So if your child is in grade 8, there is a grade 8 school email. For every concern, for every compliment, there is ways of reaching the school. If you call the office and you're not getting through, there are other mediums, and you can always call me. I am there. I'm always in the middle. There's a member of the PTA is always in the middle to channel the questions and concerns. Alright, moving right ahead. We have our principal's report. So we're here from Mrs. Beverly Harris now, our school principal. Mrs. Harris is there?
I am, but we weren't hearing you for a little while, Mrs. Lauren.
You didn't hear all that I said?
Parents
I was just basically, yes, presenting.
Friends, good afternoon. My presentation will be short because I've left all the updates and reviews for staff members and they will be coming on. Apart from where we do not have the staff member, I will come in to speak on the matter. A couple of things just want to pass by you for today. Just want to recognize that where we are now, we are alive and well and we ought to give thanks to God. We ought to give God thanks because we have had challenges. We have had, we were not sure what to do next. We plan things and we have to change, we have to go again, right? It has been a year, last year, and more. It's a brand new year for 2021 with a brand new way of life. We want to give God thanks for His guidance, His protection, His blessing on our lives and families of for parents. His protection. We want to wish you parents a productive year. Though we know that it's challenging for some of us. Some of us would have lost jobs. Some of us may have a job, but in a depleted form because you may just have a few days going out.
Yes.
Some persons may have a job. There's a
If I lost my job.
There are persons who may have a job and may have to settle with a decrease in terms of salary. It's COVID-19. It's not something that we had planned, nothing that the world knew about, but it's upon us. And we have to see how best we can move through it. There are some of us, though, who would have utilized the same COVID-19 to form entrepreneurial activities, who, because of COVID, something comes up and it's a brand new thing. I'm just going to use my president as an example. She started going back to school. COVID-19, you should have been so busy going to work, you just couldn't be a part of our activities. But in everything, we have to give God thanks and we have to look and see where there are breaks for us to take it. When there are opportunities, utilize it. So I just give an example. Some persons start making masks, and I have masks, and I will just show you. We have school masks. Some persons making school masks because this is it. That's what we're doing now. Doing things differently. Persons who love the internet, there is opportunities for you to utilize your skills. For companies who are persons who don't know much like myself, but have to get with it and get going. So, here we go in a brand new year. We would have come March the 12th, 1 year of online schooling. Come March the 12th, a year of online schooling. And can we cope? Yes, we will have to cope. There is a little WhatsApp thing that I saw where this lady was saying she would rather have her child safe and alive than going out and something, the child will catch COVID or die or whatever. So we just want to ensure that we are all together as one family. We want to appeal to our parents just to keep yourself safe, keep our children safe, and when we do have the opportunity to come out, all the protocols that they must follow should be maintained. And we're going to speak a little bit about that as we move. We have just completed our online examinations. We have never done online examinations. We have just completed it. Ms. Beckford is going to move in and speak with you in terms of online schooling, the challenges that we would have had in terms of the examinations, the opportunities that it has afforded us, and what is it that we're doing. And you would have been informed, advised, and the use of our children using the platform that we are now using the ministry's learning management system on the Google Suite platform. And most of our students are on it. There are some students that we are still not reaching. do so. And if you know students who should be on the platform, please let us know. Before I say anything else, I just want to say, because I know this is a public forum, so what I say is what is as today. I must note that there are some things that it's been circulated, that we would not have sent that out from the school perspective. I'm just going to have to, some things are not worth circulating, and it is just not just correspondence that just passing around, but some other things that we get via Facebook, other social media is not worth passing around because it is incorrect information. I would have sent, I'm just going to hold this, I would have sent something like this. We normally send to you communication that is signed with the principal's signature and or the vice principal's signature, scan and email to you in PDF form. That's how we are going to be sending out every single communication, because there are some information that is going around that is false. And I will speak to that in just a few. A couple of things I want to just run through a couple of things with us parents. For us at school, we would have had, in terms of additional books from the book rental scheme, those books are now e-books. And our students, and it's just for English language and for business education, and the students were calling, and they were for upper school, they were calling and asked to come in and pick up those. These are loaded onto the device. They are available only for a year, so there's no return of the ebook, because at the end of the year, it will be no more accessible to the students. So it's a good way of servicing, and it's a good way of allowing students to get additional resources that they do need at this time. We have academic intervention. The fact that we have not been approved by the ministry to come face to face. We do have academic intervention program, and this is how it is done. I will let you know, parents. There are teachers, particularly teachers for grades 11, 12, and 13, and specifically more for grade 11 that are doing the vocational areas. For those that are doing the vocational areas and need to do their SBAs, we are behind, but we need to get it. And no, TXC, along with the Ministry of Education, will allow adequate time for students to get in their SBAs. Because if it is that we're going to do likewise like last year, where we only sit the paper one, which is a multiple choice examination, SBA is going to play a pivotal role in the grading of our students. So the students must do their SBA, and all subjects except for HSB, Human and Social Biology, has SBA component, including math and English. So we have intervention. So when it is that the teacher would have indicated to have the students in, we ask that the parents write a letter informing us of their willingness to have the child come in for that face-to-face engagement to finish up the SBA. That's the only way we can do what we're doing now, until the ministry gives us approval. Tomorrow we will have, colleagues, the Math City and Guild practice test, and we will be doing the practice test via online. So we ask that all grade 11 students, either they doing stage 3 or stage 2, should be on the platform tomorrow at 8 o'clock, along with 12 T students who are doing math in CSEC. They should be doing their City and Guild math test. For the reason for this meeting and for my presentation is the possibility of the face-to-face engagement, which should be soon. That's my main focus now, because other staff members are going to be delving into other aspects of our presentation. Parents, I must let you know, we started back on the 4th, the first Monday in January. On the 5th of January, we got assessed by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Generally, our report is satisfactory. For our PTA president and exec members and parents who would have walked on the compound, generally we have most things in place. There are some charts that we don't want to put up these charts until we're closer to when we get permission to come face to face. There may have been communication about us coming on a particular date. I'm not even mentioning a date because we don't get permission. That is out. We are hoping to get permission to come face to face, but we cannot say when until we get permission from the Ministry of Education to come into school face to face. When we do, and these are plans now, because we do meet with our teachers, we meet with our admin staff, we meet with our ancillary staff to plan the possibility for face to face and what are the things that we need to do. So when we do, and please note I'm not giving a date, when we do the grades 11, 12, 13 students will be coming to school first. They are our priority because we have to get off the SBO, we have to get off revision, we have to do mock exam come March into April. We have to get all of those things out. When we do get that permission, we will communicate with you and we will indicate to you in writing, signed by the principal, the date, and we will also be sending the timetable. We have already planned the meet. We have planned in terms of the timetable for grades 11, 12, and 13, and the students who are doing examinations through the accelerated program. Those persons are our priorities now. So when we do get that date, we will let you know. We will feed the timetable to you. We will also indicate to you the plans for grades 7 to 10. For grades 7 and to 10, they will come after we would have settled in a week or two, but we will send that information to you in writing. And we're looking at, and this is just tentatively in terms of plans, we're looking at having a grade coming in, separate and apart from grades 11 to 13 coming in. A grade coming in one day of the week. So grade 7 one day, grade 8 one day, grade 9 one day, grade 10 one day, or possibly 2 days. Plans for that hasn't been finalized, and we won't be finalizing anything in detail until we have the permission from the Ministry of Education. So mark me well, possibility of face-to-face engagement. Plans are in high gear. We are COVID-19 compliant. We have things in place and we have everything in place. We are just awaiting the go-ahead from the ministry. And this is how we will operate. It's the grade 11, 12, and 13 and the accelerated students who will come for class. While they are coming, the other students will still continue online. So we're going to be having a blended modality of learning. And the grade 7 to 10 will come in, but they will come in later. And they will do their face-to-face at that point. But they will also continue with online learning. Alright? I will stop at this point, and I will allow the updates and reviews to move through. I'm going to share so you know who will be coming next. There are some things that I will pop in and speak to you about, but that's it. So my main thing was to speak to you regarding possible face-to-face. We have not gotten a date, but we are looking towards and we are making plans, and we will send that to you. We have just finished exams and we are looking forward to having consultations. Colleagues, parents, consultation will be online consultation. We're going to be using the LMS Google Suite platform for consultation. So just like how the students will come in for their form class, they're going to come in with their parents for consultation using their device. And we will be sending out that information to you. Consultation will begin February 22nd. We will send to you the outline of exactly how the consultation will go when that happens. So now we will be completing reports, and we will, as usual, have those reports for you uploaded by the 19th of February, all things being equal. And we will also be making hard copies for those persons who may wish to come in to collect a hard copy from school. But I'm hoping everybody will go online to have them, to have the deaf persons moving into this space. We have plans for We have plans for sanitization in between classes when we go. We're coming in terms of a phased approach. So the students, if it is that we're coming in when we get the date, a set of students will start at 8, so we're staggering start time, we're staggering lunchtime when we will staggering the time that the students will exit. So as much as we can, we will have limited number of students at any given time, either on corridor for break, either in class or going out. So those are our plans, and we will communicate directly. Please note, a signed letter from the parents, dated, so nothing else that you see circulating about no date, not correct. We're anticipating, but we don't have no date, so we're making plans ready and waiting for ministry to give us the date for face-to-face start. So that's where we are, colleagues. We will have the updates, and I may just come back to you and speak a little bit more. And if persons wish to ask questions, we will take them before we close, or in terms of our updates. All right. So back to you, Madam President.
Wow. Thank you, Mrs. Harris. Thank you. Parents, I hope when you come to these meetings, you have your paper, your book. Have a book, a brand new book, or have something to write on, to make notes, to write down important information and dates and time. As I reiterate, remember, there was no date issued to Bridgeport High School for face-to-face class. I want you to remember that. And as soon as we're given the okay, then you will be notified as soon as we get the notice, all right? So as we go on, going down our agenda on number 11.
Just pause a minute, Madam President, just to say, remember I spoke until about academic intervention for those practical areas where there is special arrangement.
Yes.
Right? Right, and the parents would have to send a note to indicate that they are willing to send a note, but those are special arrangements. Right?
Okay. Thank you.
But
Thank you.
for general reopening.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Harris, for your updates and your report. Parents, I will be taking notes. We're going to get some reviews on online schooling and semester 1 examination. Please help me welcome Miss Karen Bedford, our acting vice principal for the Blue Shift. Welcome, Miss Bedford. Go ahead. Miss Bedford, are you there?
Thank you very much. Yes. Are you hearing me?
Yes,
All right. Good evening. Yes, good evening, everyone. And it's a pleasure being here with you. Just some quick updates on what has been happening. We have transitioned late last year into January into the online platform, the Ministry of Education platform. So the school is now on the Ministry of Education platform where we're using the Google Classroom. Before, individual teachers had their own Google Classroom. So in December, we had a series of training for students and teachers to help to familiarize everyone with regards to the platform. So students were sent invitations to join these new classrooms in December. Unfortunately, because we had to make some adjustments, we had to make some changes to some classes that students were in. So some students were placed in new classes, and this is 7 to 9, were placed in new classes in January. Coming out of that, in the second week, I think in January, we started our exams, all right? Now, we are now wrapping up 2 weeks of exams. We will end on Friday, where we will have our very last exam, that's math. There are some students who are actually finished. Ms. Wright, if you put your question in the chat, we can address the questions a little later and seeing some hands up if it is that you have questions. So with regards to the exams that we just had, the exams went fairly well. It was a little rough in the first week, primarily because students were not accustomed to the platform and also their teachers were learning also to maneuver in the space. But by the second week, the end of the first week, in the second week, we were going a little smoother. What we did was for students who were having issues, we set up a Zoom platform. So students who were having issues were able to come onto the Zoom platform, and there were a number of teachers who manned this platform. So from 8 o'clock, sometimes, even though the exams would have ended at about 12:30, and teachers were on sometimes 2, 3 o'clock, just to make sure that students were okay for that day and for the following day. So we had students sitting exams for the 2 weeks. Some of the challenges, there are some challenges, some of the challenges that we had, students, well, there are some students who were not really engaged since October and they showed up during this period, during the exam period. We were very happy for that. And we're hoping that parents, guardians, if you know persons who are nearby to you who've not been attending classes, you can give us a call and we will see to what extent we can give assistance, further assistance to those students. But there are some students who showed up for the first time. Some students were not able to access their exams because of device issues or because they had simple errors. So, for example, they spelled their names incorrectly and so couldn't log on. Or there are some students who misread the timetable. Alright? There are some students who had connection issues. But as I said, for the most part, we tried as much as possible to assist. And students who came onto the Zoom platform were assisted and they were able to do their exams. If they missed exams, they were able to do exams as we contacted teachers and made allowances for them to sit exams at a later date. For students who even to date have missed exams and were not able to do the exam for one reason or another, we are, for math and English, setting up some dates. So students from grade 7 to 9 who missed their math exams will be given an opportunity to resit those exams on February 1, Monday, February 1 at 3 p.m. Monday, February 1 at 3 p.m. They will just need to communicate with their math teachers that they missed the exam and ensure that allowances are made for them to do those exams. Monday, February 1 at 3 p.m. And that's for math students 7 to 9. For English language to 11, they will be able to they'll be able to do the exam Tuesday, February 2 at 1 p.m. Those persons who missed English literature, they will be able to do that exam Wednesday, February 3 at 1 p.m. For students who missed other subjects, we're going to ask that they speak with their respective subject teachers. Those numbers are likely to be smaller so they can speak with their teachers. If they're having problems, they can go to their form teachers or their grade supervisors to get some assistance. Alright, and of course, the guidance counselors are there, and I think persons have the Dean of Discipline number. If they're having problems, they can reach out to a number of persons who will lend assistance. Parents, however, I want to just point out, in trying to assist some of the students, I realized that some students missed exams for reasons such as, the internet went, or their device was running very slowly, or when they were ready to submit, the portal was locked. But there are some students who missed the exam, and when they were asked, why did you miss the exam? Or they have to go to town with their mother, or they had to go somewhere, or they weren't awake at the time. So parents were asking, please, if you could assist us to help your students, help your children a little better. So if you can help by ensuring that they are up and going, help they are up and going. So once if I know and I know how it is, a lot of persons didn't put more until you have to leave early in the morning. But call back and don't just do an audio call, do a video call so you can see what it is that they're doing at home and ensuring that they are on the platform. Alright? There were a number of parents who were very, very, very diligent, and when the children couldn't get on, you were the ones who were making the calls. And I want to thank you for that and thank you for just assisting in that regard. And I trust that by now persons would have been settled in their classes. There is, as we move into semester 2, now for the parents who are here with us for the first time, your children are in grade 7, if you were doing face-to-face class, come February 1, your child would change it, alright? But since we are online, we're still doing the timetable as it was done before. However, there are some subjects done by students in grade 7 to 9 that are done for only half of the year. So come February 1, there are some students who will change the subject that they're doing. So for example, if you're doing 7, 8, in grade 7, 8 or 9, you're doing social studies, agricultural science, visual arts, religious education, geography, history, French, Spanish, music, drama, family and consumer management, industrial techniques. Those are some of the subjects that your children will do for only half of the year. So I'm going to ask that you check with the form teachers. We're going to ask the form teachers to post some of this information on the form class, on the Google platform, in their form class. Just check with the form teachers to see if they're going to be doing new subjects, what new teachers they're going to be having, because they will be sent invitations to join new classes, and they have to join these new classes. So if they were doing French from October, come February 1, they will be doing Spanish. If they were doing music before, they will be doing drama. Alright, so the subjects will change. They would have been sent or will be sent new invitations to join these new classes with new teachers. Can you assist us? I know that there are some parents who are really very good in assisting us in getting the children into the new classes. We're going to ask that you help in that regard also. I think for now, that is it. So exams would have come to a close, and we are looking forward to moving into the second half of the school year. Thank you so very much. Mrs. Lawrence, over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Beckford. Thank you very much. As we go down the line, we'd like to welcome our head of the department, the guidance department, Mrs. Forbes. She'll be speaking to us about our grade 9 career expo. Mrs. Forbes, go ahead, please.
I'm sorry, Miss Forbes. There should be an apology for Miss Forbes. She's unable to make it to the meeting. Miss Mayor, would you want to answer or go ahead? Miss Mayor?
Miss Mayor?
Yes. Good evening again, parents. Come Tuesday, we're going to have our very first virtual grade 9 career expo. And this will be done using our Zoom platform and also the YouTube Bridgeport channel. It will be held Tuesday, February 2nd, beginning at 8 o'clock, and we're going to end at 12:30. So we're going to start at 8 and we're going to end at 12:30. Teachers have been assigned to do their presentations per departments, and all the grade 9 students are expected to be at the Career Expo. Thank you. Right, back over to you.
Excuse me, miss.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. When is the expo?
Tuesday coming, the 2nd of February.
Okay, thank you.
It's going to be virtual, so we're going to have it online, and the students will join us from 8 o'clock until 12:30 on Tuesday.
Miss, what is the expo?
We're going to have an exposition where persons will explain different skills and vocations and techniques to help our students to be better able to select the careers that they want to go in. And persons will come with their presentations and make it fun and excited so that persons will know which career they would like to go in.
Thank you. I hope you understand better now, students. Thank you, Miss Mayor, for
You are
stepping
most
in.
welcome.
All right. We're going to speak now about external examination, students' IDs, and we'd like to welcome Mrs. Palmer, our Senior Vice Principal.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lawrence. A very pleasant afternoon to everyone. I just let you know Mrs. Robert Clark is still in the meeting. Mrs. Robert Clark, I'd like to know if she put in the meeting. Now she's logged on. Mrs. Robert Clark, if you're in the meeting, please raise your hand so I can see. Okay, so external examinations, as you know, at the school, we allow our students to write the CXC exam at the CAPE and PTEC level. They have the opportunity to do the NCCS exam and the City and Guild exam. Students were registered last year for the external exams. We had a little challenge, meaning that some students did not show up at school to verify the information that was online. We always encourage students and parents to ensure that whatever is online is correct, because if we discover at a very late date that there are errors on the registration, then it's gonna cost quite a bit. Now, when you receive that form, it should have been signed to say everything on the paper is correct. So when you do that, when you discover an error later, it will tell us that possibly you did not check, and then we cannot be held responsible to pay for that correction. So I do hope that all the parents got the chance to see the registration form and the information on it was correct. Seldomly, we have some little errors on the paper. So the students so far were registered. I think it was last week or maybe 2 weeks ago I saw a student just pay the exam fee. Now I was sent a note today by Mrs. Robert Clark that late registration is open, and it is not open for a very long time. I was unable to open what she sent to me, that's why I asked if she was online. So parents, if it is that you did not get a chance to register your child for the CXC exams, you can call us. There is a WhatsApp number that you can get in touch on, or you can reach out to the form teacher of the child who will send us a message. So please, if the child was not registered and you want the child to be registered, or if you paid the money and the voucher did not reach us on time so that we could register the child, here is your opportunity. Of course, it is at an additional cost. It is at an additional cost. So when you tell us if you missed that first registration, then we'll be able to tell you what additional costs you will be required to pay. Students were already registered for the City and Guilds, as you heard Ms. Beckford told you. They'll have a practice test tomorrow. achieve out that goal. They got the subsidy. Students who are in 12T, 12F, and 13F, they should all have been registered to for their skill area. That's 12T. They should have been registered for their skill area, as well as for any PTA subjects that they would have been, and also the CAPE subjects. Now that your children are registered for external examinations, there are school-based assessments, and internal assessments that they must complete. These assessments are assignments that the children get, and the teacher work along with them. Some subjects, the same product that is being made will have to be done over and over so the child can get the maximum mark. So if the child does EDPM and you have pieces to type and so on, you cannot put a piece in your reference manual if it has an error. So sometimes children get frustrated when the teachers send them back to make the corrections, and they keep the corrections that they are to make. It is not made, and when it is time for submission, they submit what the teacher gave them to correct. Parents, I'm gonna ask you, now that we are all in one space at home, it should be a little bit easier to find out what is happening in the classes and where your children are at. If the children are not giving you any information, feel free to call the teachers. During this pandemic, it has been the best time I have seen. It has been overwhelming for teachers, but I know the teachers will welcome the fact that more parents are involved with their children's more parents are involved with their children's schooling, and we would love to keep it that way. So if it is you are not sure what is happening with your child with external examination and FBA, get in touch with us. Please remember, for external examination, those persons who do like food and nutrition and management, please ensure that you have your food handler's permit. That's needed most times to do your external exam. So food handler's permit. Students, you will also need your TRN. Those persons who are doing the NPC-based exam, you cannot be registered without the TRN. We have a few students who may not have had their TRN. So parents, all parents who are encouraging you from now, whether you have a grade 7, 8, 9, 10, straight up to 13, it's important for you to get the TRN for your child at an early age.
Miss in grade 7, Miss.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Just allow me to finish and then I'll take your question. Thank you.
No interruptions, please.
Parents, I'm asking you kindly, ensure that your children have their TRN. Another thing that is very important for the external examination is the identification. Now we have not school for a little while, so some of the children may not have a school ID. If you do not have a school ID, then we may be able to make some arrangements for that, for you to come in, but we don't know what will happen as it relates to students coming, so we don't want to make a date or promise you that we will make a date for ID. If you don't have a school ID and you have your passport, then you can use your passport, but of course you know that you have to be extremely careful because we would not want you to lose your passport. Alright, so please bear that in mind. Alright, so for grade 11,
Miss, if you know your ID number.
Just a minute, please.
Not during the presentation, please.
Just allow me to finish and then I'll take your question, please. So for grade 11, 11 to 13, usually we have what is known as a mock exam. That's the last exam that they will do before they write their state exams. Now, we will tell you, because we are not too sure of the date that CXC is going to give us for external exams. So you will be informed of the date for the mock exams. You will be informed of that. I want to apologize. I did not mention students in grade 9 and 10 on the accelerated programs, of course, you are also involved in what I said. Those students for the 9 and 10 accelerated programs, they will be doing the CXC, CSET at the CSET level. So make sure that you have everything prepared for your exams. And of course, we always encourage you to make sure that you make good use of the opportunities that you have. All right, so make good use of your opportunities, and parents, we are still counting on you and we are depending on you to continue to help us, to help you and your children to gain as much as they can here and to ensure that their potential is maximized. Who knows? Your child may be the next prime minister. Who knows? Your child may be the next doctor. Whatever it is, wherever we are, whatever we have to do, let's do it together as we move to the one common goal, which is to help our children to be successful in whatever they do. And as we say here at Bridgeport, we continue to cultivate this culture of excellence. Excellence is what we look for. Excellence is what we want to see. Thank you very much. Now I'll take your question.
Questions? Go ahead with your question now, young man. What's your name? Please identify yourself. Sir? All right. With no further ado, as we go along the agenda, I would like to call upon our Vice Principal for the Red Shift, Mr. Nelson, who will speak on the protocols of COVID-19 compliance at Bridgeport High School. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Ms. Lawrence. How are you?
I thank you, sir.
Good. Let me say a pleasant good evening to everyone on the platform, both the Zoom platform and the YouTube channel. I want to say that we have been working in partnership over time, and we encourage this partnership to continue as we elect our new executive body for the upcoming school year. We just want to ensure that this partnership continues. Just a few things that we want to go through in anticipation of our students coming back at some point soon. There are certain things that must be followed, certain things that must be carried out. And we are going to ensure that these things are carried out to the maximum to ensure that we do not end up in an adverse situation with the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education. We have been inspected, Mrs. Harris has spoken to this already, we have been inspected by the Ministry of Health. We have had a favorable response. However, we are waiting on the official notification from the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education regarding any face-to-face engagement of students. And the face-to-face engagement we speak of is grades 11 to 13 and the accelerated program students grades 9 and 10. That being said, if and when we come back face-to-face, there are certain things that must be followed in order for us to have a smooth running of the compound, in order for us to be okay physically and otherwise, mentally and otherwise. COVID doesn't discriminate. So it is a situation where each of us has to be responsible for the other person. So we therefore have to take what is known as collective responsibility in how we deal with this engagement face-to-face. I'm going to go through the protocols as it relates to students, visitors, staff members coming onto the compound at Bridgeport High School. I'm going to speak specifically to the students because they are the larger bulk of the population and they're the ones who will be engaged with more. Upon entering Bridgeport High School, you must have on your mask. So parents were asking that you ensure that they have at least 2 masks in their bags. So they must have their mask or they will not gain entrance to the school compound. So the wearing of mask is a must. They will be asked to sanitize at the school gate. So each student coming onto the compound, there is a wash station right at the security post at the small gate that they will be asked to sanitize. That means there is soap and water there that they will have to wash their hands before they enter the compound. They will be temperature checked at the gate as well, and if they have an elevated temperature, then they will be placed in a particular area where they will take on cooling down. So they will be asked to go to taken to a particular area where they will cool down and their temperatures will be rechecked. If we find upon the cooling down period, say probably 15 to 20 minutes, that the temperature is still elevated above the 37 degrees that is recommended, then we are going to have to call in the parents to come and get the student. That student will not be allowed to go around to the school, the blocks, and into classes. Once temperatures are elevated, parents will be called and the protocol will follow from there. If it is a situation where the child presents with any form of illness that is suspicious to us, we are duty bound to report the matter. It is not a matter of whether or not we want to, but we are duty bound to do so by law. So please, if the child is not well, do not send them to school. Please, we're asking you. Because that could create problems for you and for the child. So please, if they're not well, do not send them. Alright? So they sanitize, they wash their hands, and they will proceed to the classroom blocks. The school is properly marked, where we have arrows that shows the direction in which students should move. So we have the grounds properly marked, where students know which direction they should move, how they should move. We have as well 6 feet apart circles, blue circles, that says where they should stand up if they are going to be standing in a line. So if they are standing in a line, there are blue circles that are 6 feet apart, and they must stand within those circles. When they come around, there are signs, and today, a number of signs were installed today as well that speaks about washing hands, social distancing, and other things that would speak towards the protocols that we want to observe where it concerns COVID. All students must wear their mask whilst on the compound. So at all times they must wear their mask and they must exercise the social distancing of 6 feet apart at all times. The classrooms are so marked to denote where they should sit, and they should only sit where they are asked to. The benches under the tree also denote where they should and should not sit because they are properly labeled. So we have those things in place to ensure that nothing happens to our students while they are on the compound. All classes will be fitted with signage that says what are the protocols, what protocols should be followed, and how they should be followed. So all classrooms will have that inputted in it, so the students will see it when they come in. Additionally, all classrooms will be outfitted as well with a sanitation schedule. So we have to put in the Ministry of Health denoted to us that we needed to put in a sanitation schedule. So we have in fact sought to create a sanitation schedule, and those sanitation schedule will be placed in each class and tells when each class will be sanitized at what time. We're asking that when your children complete their classes, that they go straight home. There is no loitering, none whatsoever. Once they complete their classes, children are asked to go straight home. Parents, we are therefore asking that if they have drivers, if they have people who pick them up, we're asking that you make the adequate arrangements to have them picked up. There will be no loitering in the gazebo. There will be no loitering under the trees. We have to maintain this part of the protocol. I know it is inconveniencing, but we have to maintain this part of the protocol. So once your classes have been completed, students will be asked to leave the compound. And myself and the other vice principals and the dean of discipline, as well as our COVID response team, will deal with this matter strictly. So you have to leave as soon as your classes end. Finally, we ask that students adhere strictly to the protocols. As I started out with, this is not a one-off situation or a one-person situation. Whatever one person does affects everyone. So we all have to comply and work in the same vein. So we are asking students to comply with the protocols and procedures. If there is any child who refuses to comply with the protocol, they will be asked to leave the compound forthwith. We cannot have a situation where we have a breach and we have an outbreak. So everyone has to comply. It is not up for debate or discussion. Everyone has to comply. And if they don't comply, then that child will have to leave the compound. So we're asking everyone to comply. If parents need to see teachers or need to speak to a particular teacher, you are asked to make an appointment. We're not taking in, walking in at this point. So if you need to speak to a teacher, please make an appointment to do so with that teacher, and the teacher will tell you when it is appropriate and what time you can. Because no parent will be allowed on the classroom blocks. None. So no parent will be allowed on the classroom. The furthest you can get as a parent at this time, observing social protocol, is the front office. And we are very sorry, but we have to do it to maintain a certain level of sanitation so that nothing comes in, because everyone will have to be sanitized when they are coming in. So we're asking, please comply with us where these are concerned. Speak to the parents as much as you can via telephone and try to solve your matters. Please do not show up at the school as much as is possible. Thank you very much. Ms. Lawrence?
Thank you very much, Mr. Nelson, for that information. And most of us, we were just repeating because some of that we would have, as parents, would have known, but of course there are always some who have never heard it. But parents, I implore you to take notes and encourage the children. Encourage the children just to be obedient. I mean, I've been on the school grounds and I see the grade 11s sitting in each other's laps, and when you approach them and you say to them, why are you doing that? There are marked areas for you to sit. And one girl, she looked at me and said, Miss, I don't have COVID. I'm a friend of COVID either. And I have to insist that she get up out of her friend lap. So parents, it's not just the small ones, I'm talking about the bigger ones. So just encourage them. It's for their own good, it's for their own safety, and they don't know until it's too late. And it doesn't matter what you do at the time when they get it. It's already too late. Alright, moving on. As you would have noticed, I sent some pictures about going on the table to all the groups. parents, you would have seen it. It's Earthquake Awareness Month. And dealing with this is our own Dean of Discipline, Mrs. Coley, Mrs. Powell Coley. Go ahead, Mrs. Coley.
Thank you, Mrs. Lawrence. Good night, parents. Good night, students. Good night, colleagues. All right, so as you are aware, it is Earthquake Awareness Month. It is generally celebrated in January or a week in January. And so normally we would have wanted to have a drill physically, but we know with COVID, we have to improvise and try to find new and creative ways to get the information out. And so for tonight, I'm just going to do a brief presentation just on what are some basic things to do in the case of an earthquake. Alright, so what I want everyone to remember, parents, students, everyone, in the event of an earthquake, remember these three things: drop, cover, and hold on. Alright, so if you don't remember anything else, remember drop, cover, and hold on. Alright, so during an earthquake, you are to drop to the floor before the earthquake drops you. So when you feel the place shaking and so, don't be looking around looking for your friends and so you just immediately fall to the floor. Take cover under a sturdy desk or table or get down next to a wall, something that is sturdy. Cover your heads with your arms and hold on firmly. No matter what you do, try to not let go, just hold on. Because remember, now in an earthquake, the place is moving. And so we don't know how volatile the movement will be, so you ensure that you hold on. Alright, so after the earthquake is finished, we know when the place stops shaking, we probably believe that everything is okay. But no, because they have some things that are called aftershock. So immediately after the earthquake stops, you have to ensure that you assess the room to ensure that there is, if a window was broken, nothing has fallen, so that you won't cut yourself. You know, if the roof probably would have been damaged, maybe a part of the roof would come down, so you have to be very careful so you do not move immediately after. And then in an earthquake, generally, fire is usually a hazard that follows in an earthquake because sometimes the power lines are broken, whatever is happening, and so we have to be very careful. So you're never to evacuate automatically. There may be more danger outside than there is inside. We would have the tendency to run out as soon as the earthquake has stopped. Try not to do that. We settle a bit and assess the situation before we move. When we're at school, students, the emergency wardens and so will come for you once it is safe to come out. So when you're at school, students, if you should be at school when the earthquake happens, you stay where you are until an emergency, whether it's somebody from the fire brigade or somebody from the emergency team at school will come to get you to let you know that it's okay. Parents, similarly, if you're at home with them, with the students, we ask that you monitor them, so you don't, as soon as the earthquake gone, you have them running up and down and everybody running up and down the excitement. Ensure that you monitor them. Check for safe passage, clear exit route from the room or wherever you are to a general assembly area. And at Bridgeport, we have those assembly areas marked out. We did a fire drill sometime last year, and so we should be familiar with where are the safe assembly area. Alright? If an aftershock, so an aftershock is usually, sometimes it happens, a little tremor that happens after the big thing. So most times after an earthquake, you'll have maybe one or two smaller shaking. So if an aftershock occurs while you're exiting, do the same thing. Remember, drop, cover, and hold on until everything has stopped shaking, and then you move. If you're in a building where there's elevators, and this is primarily for parents now, some of us work in buildings that use elevators. Do not use elevators in the event of an earthquake. Because once the shaking stops and you may be going into the elevator to try to get down, an aftershock may come and then the power will go out and you may be stuck in the elevator. We're not sure if blocks or whatever can fall. And it is very difficult for a rescue team to find you when you're trapped in elevators, so try not to use it. Once you are outside the assembly area, quickly advise the search and rescue team to return for those who did not exit the class. And so it's important for us to see who is around us and so on in the event of an earthquake, so that if you notice that when you come out, you're not seeing Mary beside you, or you're not seeing Tom beside you, you can alert an emergency officer, say, listen, I came in with this person and not seen them, so that they can go and look for them. And most importantly, again, we're going to repeat, in the event of an earthquake, please remember to drop, cover, and hold on. So that is the simple presentation I have for you tonight, so that we, I want you to remember it. So I didn't want it to be too much information. So this is what you need to know. Once an earthquake hits, you drop, cover, and you hold on. All right, Mrs. Lawrence, there was an additional portion to my presentation. If there is, this will a presentation will be sent out in the group, as well as there's a poster that with the similar images. So you can circulate it as well for me.
Okay, Miss.
Was there an additional part to my presentation that I'm supposed to be addressing it?
I'm not.
Yes, Mrs. Foley, are you hearing me?
Mrs. Foley?
Yes, miss. I'm not.
Yes, regarding to disciplinary matters online. And
Okay.
the possible face-to-face matters that may come up.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Harris. All right, so parents, good night once again. As it relates to disciplinary matters online, we know that we are operating in a different environment, and so the online space is very huge, and it is almost impossible for teachers and everyone to monitor the students in an online space. And so there, we put some guidelines how to manage themselves when they are on the Zoom platform or while they're in WhatsApp groups. And so the first thing I want to encourage you parents, students they're now using phones and tablets and gadgets. So you have to be very aware of what's happening on the tablets and the groups. Any WhatsApp group that is from the school will be an official school WhatsApp group, and I've been getting a lot of complaints regarding groups that students are opening on their own, whether they call it study group or not. Parents, I'm going to ask that we monitor these, because all school WhatsApp groups are monitored and managed by the grade supervisor as well as the form teacher. So if your child is in a group that there's no adults in it, it is not a school group, and I'm going to ask that you take them, remove them from the group, and you may alert the school, but ensure that the child is not in the group. Students are not to be posting in the WhatsApp group anything outside of school content, right? So if it is not class related, then it's not to be posted in the group. We had asked at the beginning of the school term that once students are going to participate in Zoom class, as much as it is possible, parents, we ask that they turn the camera on so that they can be identified by the teacher, and the students should be in their full school uniform, or we allow them to wear the school polo shirt or the school PE top. Anything outside of that is a breach of our online policies as it relates to discipline, right? So you have to ensure that they're to be properly groomed as well, not because they're not physically at school, they're still in school, and we have to help our children to understand that the schools, although they're not physically there, but they're still governed by rules and regulation, and it helps you as well, parents, to help them to settle better when you help with these disciplinary measures. So all the school disciplinary measures will apply, and those sanctions apply once students are in breach. So students using curse words, being disrespectful to teachers, anything like that, there is a sanction for it according to the school rule book, and that has not changed, and that will not change. And so I'm encouraging students who are in my hearing, you're hearing me, if you're operating outside of what you should be doing in the WhatsApp groups or online, please stop, because once the report is made, then disciplinary actions will be taken. Parents, I'm going to ask, it was in the presentation earlier by the guidance counselor, try to monitor what is online. We are not there to be going through the phones, so you have to ensure that you see the content, ensure that the groups that they're in, and I believe Ms. Harris also mentioned that anything from the group will be from the school is usual, is official, and so we don't have any groups or anything that it has to be an official school group, and it is operated by one of the school administrators or somebody associated with Bridgeport High School. So you should not be allowing your children to be in WhatsApp groups that's not monitored by adults. Alright, so parents, and when we return to face, we are expecting that students will be properly groomed. So that means the young men know that we have been enjoying a long period of not combing our hair, but the school rule still stands as it relates to grooming. Braids are not allowed for the young ladies. Similarly, we do not allow jewelry. We do not allow extensions in the hair. We do not allow nail polish. We do not allow any nail tips, acrylics. None of that is allowed. So we are hoping and we are waiting for the ministry. And whenever we have to return to face, the rules still apply. And so I am suggesting and I am encouraging all our parents to ensure that the students are in contact from now, so that it is easier for them to transition back in face to face, because all these rules will apply as soon as school returns face to face. All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Lawrence. Have a wonderful evening, parents and students.
Thank you, Mrs. Coley. We thank you for your presentations. All right. It was so clear and understandable that not much needs to go over. And if needs be, we'll be reminded as we go on in the groups. I will be able to, remind you of, especially during the earthquake season, to remind you of the procedures. Following our agenda, we would like to welcome our grade 11 supervisors. We have Ms. Doyle and Mr. Mills here. They will talk about the voluntary service report and submission and the criteria for graduation. We welcome our supervisors.
Ms. Doyle? Because if they are not logged on this platform, they may not be able to share. Ms. Doyle? Mr. Mills has evening class. Because I just went out, so he's still in evening class.
So we come back to this?
No, I'm going to just go through and talk about a couple things. Right.
Okay, Mrs. Harris.
Parents are... Oh, sorry. I'm just going to show you my mask. All grade 7 students would have gotten a mask. So this is our branded mask. We have them in blue and we have it in red. So it's our branded mask. It is $500. We still have masks at school. So with us hoping to be back face to face, we still have masks. We also have the red blue mask. So one side red, one side blue for $200. It's not printed with the school logo. Alright? So that is that. With regards to voluntary service report, voluntary service submission for grade 11 to 13 students is due tomorrow. That is the last day, tomorrow. However, we have met as a senior teacher group and administrators, and we have extended, because of the situations happening, we have extended the deadline for submission to March 31, 2020. That's the last day, because after that time it is Easter break and we have to start putting plans in place for graduation. So March 31st, 2020 is an extension given for voluntary service.
I think you mean 2021, Miss.
Yes. Yes, 2021 for voluntary service. Thanks, Miss. We have also decided for our prefects and student counselors, including our head boy, head girl, and deputies, that these students will get a 10 credit hours, because even though we are on online platforms, they are working and they are assisting teachers and so on. So we're giving them a 10 credit hours, all prefects and student counselors. We would have indicated earlier that students will gain 5 credit hours for involvement in a club. So if they're involved in 2 clubs, it will be 10 credit hours. We have also opened the doors for persons who would like to do voluntary service at a private institution like business place, the insurance place, any place that will take you at the supermarket, because at this time we know that persons are not willingly open to take in persons to businesses, but we have reduced the number of hours for voluntary service. So these are ways that students can have credit hours on their cards. We have planned Miss Donna for Key Club, so Key Club members. So in addition to being a member of, if there are activities, and I'm going to tell you of one activity that we have coming up. If there are activities and they're going to do hours of activities, those hours are also credited. For Key Club, along with Science and Environmental Club, they are coming for work the first Saturday in February. We are clearing out the lot of land behind the classroom blocks from Science come right around. And Madam President, when next you come, I would want you to visit before they come and clean it. It is atrocious, and all of the bottles and the box and the something, they came from students using. And how we get to see all of this now, we used to have a lot of bushing over there, but because we have this lull time in productivity in terms of teaching, learning, and students are not here, we want to thank our ancillary staff. They are here, and we use work days with the ancillary staff, and all the bushing is all cleared now, and around there now, bottles, a lot of things. So we're cleaning it up, and we hope when we come back face to face, we have a new trust in terms of how we care for the environment, and students will not be poking things through the windows and throwing them out, because it is really in a hurried state. So we're going to be doing work day on the first Saturday in February for the Science and Environmental Club as well as Key Club. And these students will get their credit hours to their voluntary service when they come at this time. So that's it for voluntary service. For graduation, voluntary service is one of the criteria for graduation. As do last year, we are planning for graduation, for a walk through graduation. We don't say COVID-19 isn't up like anytime soon. It is happening, but we're going to have to learn to live with it. So we will have as well this year a walk through graduation over a 2-day period. We're going to have it again this year. Like last year, and moving on, all students in grade 11 and 13 are eligible for graduation. All students. So students, their criteria, the voluntary service must be done, and the report is to be submitted. There's a whole sheet that we send, we put it in soft copy. First we're doing that again, we send it out. The grade for students should be an average, C average, but we will use our discretion into this COVID period regarding that, but we don't expect students to be scoring lots of numbers. In terms of attendance to school, students should at least have a C average attendance to school. Their behavior, we don't have much in terms of disciplinary issues, and Miss would have spoken to that. We don't have much, it's just a few, and those would have been addressed by the Dean of Discipline with the online learning. Behavioral conduct must be satisfactory. Financial obligation, it must be addressed, and where there are issues, parents come in and they make arrangements with us or talk with us in terms of settling. So those are in terms of the grades. Students must have a minimum average of 50%, and that is achievable because all our students, we want to move it to 70, but kind of hard because students are not working as hard. All our students come in here with an average 70% at 10 average academic performance. They dip. So they start, and then the scores go down for a lot of our students. There are some who remain, there are some who stay with us with their 70% average, and those who stay, we have them, and we have them in the accelerated program. They're moving to do 60 subjects at grade 9 and grade 10, in addition to the 8 subjects that they will do at grade 11, to make them a multifaceted set of students who can go and apply for jobs in different areas and also for tertiary training as well. So those are the criteria. When we move closer to graduation that time, we will definitely be calling parents to meeting. That's the graduating parents to a meeting. So final, but just to let you know what is happening. So that's it for the presentation for Mr. Mills and Miss Doig. We had just had a senior teachers meeting, so I know some persons are like up with schoolwork all the exams and moving into the meeting. We're hoping to have sports day virtual. Everything is virtual, but we have not concocted how it is going to be done. But we are looking at, just like how I know further down into the program that we're looking at Mr. and Miss Bridgeport extravaganza.
Oh no, we're going to ignore that.
Virtual. Yes. But what COVID has done to us is allow us the level of creativity that you never would have thought of. So we're doing it, and it's not any going back, but it's moving forward with how we deal with matters, how we deal with things, how we use our creation, how we use the internet for better, how we use the internet for elevating education. That's the way we are going. Just want to, just in case there's anything, you would have gotten terms 2 and 3 calendar of events, parents. If there's anybody who haven't gotten it, PTA president can send it to you. We should have, Madam President, we have a PTA address, so email address. I don't know if it is still functioning. If it is not, I'm mandating the president to make a PTA email address, because maybe something parents may want to share directly with the president.
Alright,
there's one, but I think it's a bit inactive, so
yes, there's one.
Right.
Alright.
So that's a mandate that I'm giving you. Parents, just to give you an update, for our student reach, we are reaching 75% of our student population to date. We have over 1,200 students. Yes, that would have logged on. We have some students, I don't know if it is the examinations, I don't know if it is called to us going into face-to-face soon. But since January, we have had a couple students who are just coming online since October. We have had, so it's 75%, which means that we still have our total expected number of students that we were anticipating is 1,617 students. But when we go through, there are some persons who moved to school, there are some persons who migrated and so on. We have 1,567 students. Of this, 1,200 students are, on an average, have been logging on to school. So how many students we're not reaching? So from 15, 360 something, right? Yes. So we're not reaching 300 and odd students. Average, we're not reaching. So we still need to reach. And we're making the appeal. We have our guidance counselors, we have our dean of discipline who walk into the communities, who identify cyber centers and so on. Mr. Campbell is here who can attest to that. He also went into communities, finding children, placing them at place where they can go and access class or access the internet. So if it is that you're in an area and you see students that you know belong to Bridgeport and are not online, encourage them, ask them to get in touch with the school. If they come, we will sort them out or try as best as we can so we can give them tablets. But we did give away 33, we got 2 more 35 tablets that we got from various stakeholders. We have one particular past student, Miss Wright, Senor Wright from the United States. She sent 10 and 2, 12 tablets for students, and we gave the most needy. We have one of our vice principals who had a link overseas. We got several tablets. We have the Humanist Club of Portmore in collaboration with the Key Club here at Bridgeport High School, who have gave us 7 tablets, but this was on a loan program. We had Mr. Bill with the track and field connections. We got a few tablets as well. So we got near 40 tablets that have been given out. I just said just today. I said to my VP, we need to get those pictures online there handing over, but we will have to put it together and kind of take all the picture of the students so the faces won't show clearly. But we got those tablets and we have
Mr. Cyrus. Those near 40 tablets and those was any of them from the ministry?
Mr. say we got. So let me address no, they were all in terms of
not received any.
No, we have not received the past program tablets as yet, and you would have heard they are still sourcing, but they have been targeting the primary school so far. We will get, but when? Yeah, but when? We will get, but when. I cannot speak on behalf of the government, but I know that we will get. It's an assurance that the government had indicated that their services primary school students have gotten, and they are inching forward to the high school level as well. So those that we have, and parents, I know some parents may have connections. I know some parents may have the ability to donate one tablet. If it is that you can, there are some students that we are not reaching, and if we reach them, we cannot give them a tablet because the school don't have that money to pay for that. So our past students have been there, our teachers, our connections, our friends of the school have been there. Parents, if it is that you can give a tablet, we would be willing and we would make arrangement. There is a form that we ask them to sign, and the giver also sign to say, okay, here the tablet, do your work, that kind of a thing, and we'll place it on the student's file. So if you can, get in contact with our president, Madam President, we have given her contact. Get in contact with her. You also have the Bridgeport email, bridgeport_02@yahoo.com. Many of you may have my number. You can text me. You may not simply get me online because sometimes we're all over the place. But if you have something that you need, I may respond.
Yes.
Yes?
Miss, for tomorrow, Miss, did some of us finish our exam? Do we have in school tomorrow?
No. So it's exam period. So no. So if you finish today, tomorrow is clear for you. So get a break, do what you wanted to do, and it is to get to do it. And then next week when you start, we're starting semester 2.
Miss, we'll start back on Monday.
Yes, we're starting back on Monday. I think Brenda Penn asked a similar question in the chat. Good afternoon, Miss. Should the students who finish their exam come to school tomorrow? Come to school as in online? No, neither physical. No. So tomorrow is their day if it is that they don't have an exam. Remember that we said City and Guilds, all grade 11 students have exams tomorrow. So some students have, those who don't have, that's it. That's a day for you just to chill, relax, and enjoy the time. Because
behave yourselves.
Yes. All right. Come on, again. We're back to term 2. One other thing, for the virtual prize giving and award ceremony, it should have been earlier in January because of the exams and the preparation mode and the moving into the new ministry platform. We have postponed that to the 10th of February. That's a new date at 4 p.m. So we're putting things together. So parents, you're hearing, if your child received 70% or more average for the 2019-2020 report, and remember it was only one report that was done in 2019-20, the December one. If your child was awarded with a 70% or the work for that 70%, that child will be a part of the prize giving ceremony. We will be giving e-certificates of achievement. So we will be sending those to the emails, and thank God what we have ministry email for all students. So we will be sending them to the student ministry's email, and then you can print it at your leisure. So we will be doing e-certificate of achievement for our awardees. Alright? So everything is online. So that's it for wrapping up. I don't know if there's anything
the sports day we had Mrs. Mills and Miss Walling to talk about sports day.
Right.
Are they there?
No,
Are you
it's,
going to talk on it?
no, but I indicated that for the sports day, we are toying with the idea, but we will give
Alright.
I don't know how it will work, if we will have, we possibly may showcase something,
Okay.
not necessarily
No problem.
anything physical, nor having the students something. So we may showcase something, but the department will
With the collaboration for the Past Students Association, you speaking on that as well? And for new business, we are with
may I say, I know Ms. Kadeen Harvey, who is an exec member from Past Students. They have indicated their interest to start. And since we
she's here now. So
I think she's in the meeting. Mr.
Hi,
Harvey.
Harvey. Go ahead, please.
Yes.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Miss Harvey.
How are we? I'm still at work, forgive me. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, miss, go ahead.
Right, so for the breakfast club, we know things have changed up with the whole COVID thing, so we were trying to, let me see, figure out how we do this the safest way possible, because it's something that I really, or the past student really want to do. It's kind of my baby. So what I was thinking of, and you can tell me how it is, what we've come up with is having just like the past program where they come and pick up their items. I'm not sure if when we'll have face-to-face, but for now, I'm thinking of those who are maybe the parents who are less fortunate, or however it work out, that every fortnight that they would pick up a breakfast package, meaning like breakfast items in this package. So like tea items, maybe eggs and
Franks
and stuff, franks like that. They'll pick up a package like that. Huh?
Me can call it Frank.
Right. So they pick up a package like that every 2 weeks at the school. So that package should actually last the parents for the 2 weeks. So they can actually prepare something for the child at home. That's the idea that we're trying with now.
Alright, that's good. Even though when you had in mind for this to start, you don't come up with that yet.
We were thinking actually next month, but not a particular date, because we know that we were ending off with the exams now. So we're saying, okay, with the next semester beginning, we could start. We weren't sure actually too if we were going to go face to face or if it's still an online platform.
Oh, okay. So parents, we let you know how and when this actually comes on stream, right, Miss Harvey?
Yes, we'll know. What we and what we want to do is actually have the help of the parents too. So if persons can even contribute, whatever it is, whether it's
donate
items, whether it be monetary, anything at all. Whatever item you have, we can or put us onto a link that you may have. People might have bread or biscuit link or something like that. You could put us on where we can ask for donation for these items.
That's good.
Exactly. And then also, if it is that in future we come to face-to-face, we still need the parents on board, where we need people to volunteer in terms of sharing, in terms of helping to prepare the food. We love that, because you know that a child can't learn on a hungry stomach. And I think
Miss Harvey, for those parents who are interested though, how they can reach you?
Okay, so they can call me directly at 596 5563, or they can email me at Kadeen, Kadeen .n.harvey@gmail.
Miss.
Excuse me, miss, can you read the number, please?
596 5563.
Miss.
ahead.
Miss 556.
Miss capital K or common?
All lowercase. It's 596-5563 and the email address is Kadeen, Kadeen .n.harvey @gmail.com.
Okay,
Thank you,
Miss
Miss.
Harvey. Thank you very much.
And
I'm sure I have some. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, man, it's your time.
Right. So and I'm sure what we're going to really call upon the PTA. And not the PTA. Yes.
Yeah, man, the PTA body at large. Yes.
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 And the assistance as much as possible in terms of even getting the items whether it be having vehicle to get these items for us, drop it off at the school or whatever it is. We're gonna plead for that help and the parents to be very supportive and understanding in this time, because we want to really help the parents to have the students at home a healthy mind and stomach and body.
Madam President, I just want to thank Ms. Kadeen Harvey. She's one of our very proud past students, now parent guardian, as well as executive member for the Past Students Association, and the initiative for the breakfast program, and the fact that we are on a shift system. And Mark will go into the office shift. I must give her this update. We have had the Ministry of Health National Environmental Trust. We have had the ministry starting the shift transition committee. So things are working at the base level now in terms of getting our school off the shift. So we should be coming off, not for this coming academic year, but plans are in place. So build a 3-story building won't happen overnight, but it is definitely coming on place. So I talk about our podcast student who is advocating for this program, and the PTA who, from the executive body, who have indicated their interest to assist in ways possible. I must also say we have as our podcast student too, Mr. Robert Miller, who is our no member of parliament for this constituency that the school is in. So I want to say congratulations to you, Kadeem. Congrats to Robert. Congrats to the many students, to our president for the past students who have made that gallant effort to try and assist in any way possible. Mr. Jason Stewart, the president. Madam President PTA, and I love the relationship between the past students, so it's not working apart, but together for a common cause of moving Bridgeport forward. Thank you so very much, and colleagues, parents, enjoy yourself for the rest of the time that you have. Do anything you're doing safely, and all the very best, because I'm out of here. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Harris, and get home safe.
Miss Harvey,
Yeah?
you can repeat the email, please.
Okay, I'm gonna type it in
the chat. Yes, thank you.
Excuse me, Miss Harris.
Go ahead, identify yourself.
Miss, this is Brenna. Miss, can you repeat the date for the prize giving ceremony next month?
Okay, the new date is February 10th at 4 p.m.
Okay, Miss, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Alright, just in completing the agenda for this evening, we're going still in new business. For those who have an agenda, we would have had PTA fundraising next item, but we want to omit that at this time as we're report and consultation day coming up. just parents to make a note of it. I'm not sure how it will be done. It's for February 22nd to 26th virtually. I'm sure the principal did not mention it, but I would assume it will be done by class or by grade. I'm not sure. But since it's virtual, then you'll be able to link with your form teachers, and you guys probably could decide that. Principal, I think further down as we get closer, we will get some information on that. And so we next to the date of our next.
Excuse me.
Yes, Danny.
Yes, February 10 is the graduation, Miss.
Sir, I did not. February 10 is the prize giving. That was the question asked.
Oh, that was a prize giving, Miss.
Yes, sir.
Then when is the graduation, Miss?
The graduation date was not announced.
Okay, Miss.
Okay, so. Alright, so our next PTA meeting.
Miss?
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Rihanna Walker, Miss, a student from
Yes, go ahead, baby, go ahead.
Miss, in report there, right, Miss, are we going to be in break room?
I'm not sure how it will be done as yet. We're not instructed.
What's the question, Miss?
For the report date.
Brian, I can't hear you.
Sir, for report there, are we going to be in break room?
In?
The break
room.
Yes, I think that's part of the plan, but you will get further information.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Asking, I didn't get a chance to hear you, but I was asking when is report day?
From February
22 to 26.
The 22nd
to the 26th.
The 26th?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Alright, so we're moving on to the next PTA meeting date, which is, make a note from my parents, even though you've been noticed.
Question again.
Could you wait until after we take the questions, please?
Okay, I'll wait.
Thank you. March 18th, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. virtual meeting.
Bye,
Mr. Campbell, could you tell me, I don't know if you or Miss Bedford is the one to give me a tally. I'd like to get the votes in there to move to have our
It's only the three hands in this meeting. And only the three hands up in this meeting. This side of it. So Mr. Palmer will have to assist us in that.
Alright, so we can get to move. We can get to vote on it tonight.
I would say let us put it for the next meeting, Miss.
Okay, alright. And so we're going to leave out the vote to move for the virtual election for the next meeting, which is March 18th. But Mr. Campbell, that would have been the day we would have had the elections.
We had three persons out of 95 shows on in this room.
We need to vote on it before the time, or else we have to do it. We can't.
Madam President, let us talk about it outside of the meeting and work forward.
But if
you want to take the vote now because we're down to 78.
I would have to take a vote now, or else we can't do it virtually, or the office would have to remain maybe for another year. We don't want that. We already have nominees on the table. We have to do it now. We won't meet like this again. That this is why I am.
Okay, let's go ahead and say it work.
Okay, parents, please, we need to move this vote and to add it to our constitution, or else we aren't able to change office. For those who are in the office, the exec PTA from last year, because It is not. It has never been done, and so it was not approved. So the offices are to remain for another year. What I'm asking is for your participation now to move to have this vote so we can add it to the constitution so that we can actually move the PTA along with the times so we can have access to online voting. That's all we're asking you to participate in. If it's a no, you said no, you don't agree for this virtual elections, or yes, you agree that you move to have this vote so we can add it to the PTA constitution. So we will, moving forward, have virtual elections if we are unable to meet physically. That's all I'm asking. You have to do it now because our next meeting is our election meeting. And this is why I'm
Madam President?
Yes, sir?
Yeah, I have to show hands earlier, moving from that to have us type in the chat to respond.
Well, all right.
Okay.
I don't want to confuse anyone. If you're not showing your hand saying that, you can type in no. Somebody please help me count. We have to do this before we leave here. I won't meet with you again until the election day. Please. So, somebody help me count, please. We need to get this vote out before we close off tonight. So,
that's 7 versus a 5.
So we have yay for yay and nay. And we have a total of 77 persons online at this time. Let's make a note of that. We have 77 persons.
Plus 111 on YouTube.
Miss, only 75 can vote.
As long as majority say
We have 100.
I can close.
Sir?
Alright.
Hello?
So how much we have so far now, Mr. Campbell?
Miss, can we?
Sir Campbell.
3, 6, 9, 12, 13. 13.
Expect for the getting anything in the chat?
Good night, Mr. Palmer here.
Good night.
Just confirming, we have 106 people on YouTube. For the meeting now. So far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 persons. 7, 6, 7, yeah. 7 persons have indicated yes.
And we have 13.
Alright.
Madam President.
So alright.
Madam President.
So that's 8 from YouTube.
So does that mean
9 from YouTube.
Madam President, may I move that we...
Hold on, the votes are still coming in, sir.
Sir, I need their participation because that
Good night. Excuse me. What are we voting for? I didn't catch that part.
To have...
We have a number of them coming in on YouTube, so just wait.
Madam President.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Campbell.
Presently, good evening, parents. Presently, our voting allowed us to vote at our annual general meeting, which is a face-to-face meeting, as in our constitution for the PTA executive.
Yes.
Now, because we are going through a period of the pandemic and it minimized person meetings face-to-face, we're asking for to give us permission by way of voting this meeting to allow us to have it done on an online platform. That's what we are voting for.
And to add it to
giving
the
us permission so we can amend our constitution to allow an online voting platform for executive members for the PTA.
Thank you very much. Well said, sir. Couldn't have done it any better.
So basically you're saying you're voting for who wants to go on face-to-face and who wants to do virtual?
Permission to amend the constitution which allows to either vote face-to-face if we can, or we may go online to have the election done.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Great.
Okay,
wonderful.
Nicia.
Thank you. So, Sir Paul, what's going on? How many persons we have there now?
3, 6, 9, 12,
2, 3,
16,
4, 5,
16 showing.
6,
out
7,
of
8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
75?
13,
73.
14, 15,
73.
16, 17,
16 on the
18.
73?
Yes.
18 persons on YouTube saying yes.
That's
19,
34 out of 100 and about 18.
19,
So
20.
it's, can we move to say it a yes? We don't have half.
The fact that nobody say nay, anybody say
Right.
Mr. Palmer?
Yeah, there are a few, but compared to the
How many
amount of
more say
persons,
nay?
1, 2, not as much. I think there are maybe about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm seeing around about 6. 6 people compared to everybody
nay?
else. Yeah.
6 nay and a total with YouTube and
19 youth saying yes, and how many from your side?
19 plus?
2,
19 plus
3,
1. And some person
4,
typing in the
5,
chat. Let me check the chat.
6, 7, 8,
Yes,
9,
please.
10,
Thank you.
11,
1,
12,
2, 3, 4,
13,
5.
14, 15,
19
16,
plus 5.
17,
Plus 6.
17. Alright, so I have 17 from YouTube, 17,
8.
18 from YouTube,
So we can say we have
18 from
9,
YouTube.
5.
9, 28 plus 1 nay. Two nay.
So I'm going to move it. I'm
Madam
based
President.
on what we're saying here. Yes, sir.
Madam President, may I suggest that we do a Google form and for the vote on it?
A Google what?
A Google form.
document. And then have them link and then vote on it.
Okay. Can you set that up for me? I'm not quite familiar with that.
Yeah, but let us put it for a later date. I'll get it ready, the form ready.
All right, so Mr. Campbell, I will contact Mr. Campbell and sir on YouTube.
Yes, ma'am.
What have on YouTube, Mr. Powell?
Mr. Palmer, yeah.
Mr. Palmer.
Mr. Palmer?
Sir.
Mr. Palmer, you're going to help me through Mr. Campbell, right? So we set that up? All right, and so I come to the end of the meeting, parents. I thank you so very much for your participation, listening attentively, and your questions. We had some questions, but Mrs. Sarah is not here. Do we have questions, sir? Ms. Beckford, do you have questions? All right. And so we've moved to adjourn our meeting at 7:59.
Excuse me. I remembered I have a question.
Sure.
Go ahead, Nisian.
Alright. I was asking if the report day is virtual, well, are we supposed to come to school?
It's virtual.
So we will get the days them like grade 7 and 8 when supposed to log on?
Yes, dear.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
darling. You're welcome. Have a good evening. And
Same to
so
you.
we want to adjourn our meeting and it's 7:59 p.m. and I would like someone to first that. Can I have a parent to first that? Makes Natoya Arnold. Natoya Arnold first. Then I have another parent second it. Second by Galaxy, I don't have a name. Galaxy A10E.
I think it's second.
It's Paula. Can I have the surname? It's second by Paula. Paula, what's your surname, please? Miss Paula Wilson. Thank you very much. I do appreciate your participation and the efforts that you have made to be at the meeting today. Please utilize the numbers I've given you and the emails. We have access. Let us use it. The school have emails for every grade. The school has an email if you're unable to get through to the numbers. Please, parents, be active and not proactive with these children. They want to tell us that they're smarter than us, but we bring them come here, so we're going to make them show them that we are the boss. Right, parents? Have a good evening for those who want to travel home, travel safe, and God be with you all.
Bye.